What's up? What's up? What's
Good.
up? We back again with another episode of Just My Damn Opinion, man. You know they like assholes. Everybody got one, and your boy got one too. Man, I'm here tonight, man. We're gonna talk some sports talk, man. I got a couple of my homeboys in here with me. Coach out, what up? What up? What up?
What's good, fellas? What's good, fellas? Appreciate you having me on, man. Ready to talk some ball while I'm watching Florida State, Boston College. Boston College with the 4 yard TD run to get on the board first in that game.
Florida State might be in trouble. The coolest fan in the land, my homie, Cool Cal. What's happening?
What's up, brothers? What's up, brother, man? Blessed to be here. And like coaches allude to that Boston College, that might be a sneaky L for Florida State. They better watch it.
Mm.
Better watch it. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah, because I really want it, but I'm gonna hold off on it. But yeah, we're just gonna talk major ball tonight, man. I want y'all guys. I really want to call this episode "Standing on Business," man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. I want the answers. I want not only I want the answers. I want to know why. I want y'all to stand on business. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Shout out to Sooner Legend. What it do? Sooner Legend. What it do, Mike? So my first question, guys, and we're gonna do a recap of week one in college football. And my first question, I'm gonna put out there. I hope you had a little time. I know we consumed a lot of football. I hope you had a little time to disseminate all this information. Get yourself together. My first question: who had the best win of week one, and why was it the best win? Who had?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Let me ask you this. Is it week one? Can I include week zero?
Sure.
Okay. Y'all gonna laugh. I say Georgia Tech right now. I say
That's a
Georgia
good.
Tech right now.
That's a good choice.
Because what I think what they're trying to establish and where they're at, first off, they were an unranked team. They beat a top 10 team in a neutral site game, big game, ACC game. And so I say that, where Tech is and where they've been for the last, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and I probably say the whole Kirby Smart era, like, they've been dumpster juice. And I'm seeing a little bit more out of Georgia Tech right now. And I was impressed by the fact because sometimes, a team may be overrated, which I think we all kind of are feeling Florida State is overrated. But for Georgia Tech to go out there and get that type of victory against a top 10 team, I think today is still the best win of the year so far. It may prove that Florida State may just be awful, but as of right now, I think that's the best win of the year.
I have no quarrels with that. Coach, same question to you. I don't know if he stole your thunder, but who you think
No,
got the
no.
best win of week one and
Listen,
why?
man, I think that was actually a good choice. That definitely came up on the radar. But things I knew about Georgia Tech, leading the ACC in rushing last year, and Florida State actually as good as they were last year. They were 70th in rushing in the nation, stopping the run. So those two didn't mix well in Ireland over there. But my best win of the weekend and week one, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, man, like Vanderbilt
Mm.
was a 13 and a half underdog coming playing. Yes, they played at home, but they played against a team in the ACC that returned 22 starters. Well, you like Virginia Tech ain't been
Mm.
no stalwart, since Beamer left. But when you return 22 starters from a team that's we'll call a middle of the road ACC, okay? So we'll say middle of the road ACC, but coming into the year with those 22 starters, returning quarterback and running back combo that a lot of people, including myself and some national media heads, had up high. You know what I'm saying? That's a big win. Not only did they win, I know they took them to overtime, but Vandy came out ready. Like 17 nothing. That's saying a lot to me. I still think Virginia Tech gonna spoil some people's run in the ACC. I don't think they necessarily gonna make it to the ACC championship, but I think they're gonna play a lot better going forward. I just think, and me and Shawty kind of talked about this. Clark Lee, he's a Vanderbilt alum. I think he wants people to stop talking bad about Vandy. Like they the GPA holders of the SEC, and I think
They are.
you kind of show it. Shout out to Diego Pavia, the quarterback from Vandy. You know what I'm saying? For he was the guy that played for New Mexico State last year that went into Auburn and beat Auburn. So You know what I'm saying? There's no he said he ain't new to this. He true to this. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Diego Pavia and Vandy, man, for my best win.
Wow,
All right.
wow. I like I like both of those answers, and I don't think either one of you guys are wrong. But just for this particular question, I'm rolling with Cool Cal because this is who I think was my best victory of the weekend, based off some of the things he's already said. With them being an unranked team playing a top 10 team, to me that just got to be the biggest win. And with Vandy, I'm with you on Vandy too. They're gonna be some. They're gonna be my answer on another team. So
That's a
like I
great
said,
call.
yeah, both you
Yeah,
guys are, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, that was
That's
awesome.
a
So
great call. And
I
that
got
was actually one that I actually didn't think of. But now thinking back on it, and also knowing that they had 22 starters coming back, that's actually a very impressive win.
well, you talking about Virginia Tech.
Yep.
They
Yeah, they
had
had
Uh,
22 starters, right?
they had 21 of 22 starters
oh my
coming back.
bad.
21
21.
starters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Right.
had 21 of 22 starters. Tomato still, you know what
Right,
I mean?
right,
Yeah,
right.
Uh,
that was
but yeah,
impressive. I
yes,
agree.
very, very impressive for to the coach's point and everybody's point. It being Vandy and what
For
we
it being Bandy.
think
Right.
think of Vandy. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah. All right.
Hmm.
Well, just with that being said, and remember that question, guy, because I'm gonna ask you a similar question later on, but it's gonna be a difference. Because as we like to say, there's levels to this, right? As always.
Right.
And with that
For
being
sure.
said, we're gonna go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and I'm gonna let Coach lead off with this one. Coach, give me your worst loss of week one
Uh,
and why.
I'm a roll along with what you just guys just said, and it's got to be Florida State. Because they started
Mm,
preseason top 10. You can't start preseason top 10. I know how there's different feelings about preseason rankings, but top 10 is top 10. Or you go
Hmm.
in on paper, you can't say, oh, we got a whole bunch of new players because you entered 2023 with a whole bunch of new players and you showed out. You just didn't show up this year with the right new players. Georgia Tech showed up and they owned Florida State. They didn't just beat Florida State, dog. They didn't luck up and beat them. They just beat them straight up, head up in every phase of the game, really. And I think that's you coming off it don't look good coming off the loss that they had against the Dogs in the Orange Bowl, and to say, oh, it was only because we didn't care about that game. We didn't have all our players and all this. Now you show up, you supposedly care. This is an ACC game. You top 10, and they smash you in the mouth in another country, man. You didn't even represent the nation right. Come on, man. So Florida State got to be, what I'm saying, the most disappointing loss, worst loss I would say of the week one.
okay. No quarrels with that either. No
Man,
quarrels with that. Cool Cal, what you got? Worst
that's
loss
funny
and
that
why?
it's funny because I was gonna come right back and go with Florida State. You know what I'm saying? Because it was all like the same thing. It was like the most impressive win versus the most disappointing team. Because you know why with Florida State? Because all I heard was all this damn crying all year. Oh man, they kept us out the playoffs, and oh man. So so now you lose to a team by 60. I don't give a damn who you had out. You still lost to a team by 60 last year with us in the bowl. Now you come back out this year with all that crying in the offseason. You bring in some transfers. You bring in DJ, 30-year-old Ulele, and you still come out and you got the same results. So that was my first choice. I thought Oregon, although they didn't lose, they didn't look great as a top tier team. But I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears, man. I'm gonna go with Florida.
Mm,
Mm.
Florida was lackluster as hell. Not, I'm okay with you getting beat by Miami. Miami looked like a damn good football team this year, and I have no problems with you losing to them. But in the fashion that they did, um, they couldn't run the ball. They just didn't look like they had a clue, coaching wise, offense, defense, special teams. They just didn't look like a team that just came in off of an off season with a lot to prove on top of that. I think Napier, he might not be around for a couple of more weeks. Um,
Don't say that.
and I say Florida, man. I didn't like what I saw. Graham Mertz, he was atrocious. They might as well just go ahead and start the DJ Lagway era right now. Let's go ahead and get the kinks out. Let's go ahead and get them in there, and let's start that era right now because Florida's going nowhere. They're trash. They looked like trash Saturday, and it was very disappointing.
Wow. Cal, I really thought you was gonna be riding with Coach with the Florida State thing because I was gonna say Florida was, my worst loss as well because you give up the most points in Swamp history, and it happened to be to Miami.
Mm.
You just can't do that.
With a
You know
whole
what I'm saying?
off season to prepare. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole off season to prepare. These are your rivals. These kids been playing against each other all their lives, and you come up with that type effort, man. I thought it was embarrassing, man. And I
Well,
thought some of the post commentary that I've seen from Napier and some of the things that he said is like a coach. The ship is sinking. It's time for him to go.
and I also agree with you, Cal. If you're gonna win maybe 5 or 6 games, the six is looking real tough right now.
Mm.
You might well check on and go with
Mm.
Lagway.
Maybe.
You just going to put deep. You just going to go with the young kid, ride it. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah,
let
you
like
just
you said,
got to
keep
go ahead
things
and
out.
ride them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point in putting Mertz out there? Let's just go ahead and let's see what this young kid has. He can probably do some things. Like, yeah, his arm is live. He's a great athlete. Let's let the country see him because I'm the feeling like kids may be like, I might want to go play with him. Nobody's gonna want to go play with Graham Mertz. You know what I'm saying? Who
Mm.
wants to see that
Mm.
all year?
That's a
Okay,
good call there. That's a
But
good call there.
nah,
I agree. I agree. No quarrel.
but.
All right. So with that being said, Cal, I'm going to let you keep riding since you cook, and I'm gonna keep letting you cook. With everything we've seen in week one,
Mhm.
is there any coach at this particular point you think maybe on the hot seat?
We might as well stay in Gainesville. I mean, we might as well stay in Gainesville. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have been shocked had they fired him after this last loss. It was just the type of loss that what I'm saying when you come in from an off season where you have to have it this year, you have something to prove this year, and you come out with that type of performance, especially at home. It just doesn't, it just doesn't sit well. I can't see it sitting well with Florida Nation. They're a traditional power, been a great football factory for the last 30, 40 years. I just can't see that sitting well with them. And then not only that, when you see Lagway when he gets in and you see the type of potential that he has, why the hell we just didn't go with him in the first place? What's the point of sometimes these coaches just saying, "Oh, this kid's been here for 3 years. Let's just play him." And when you see when he got in, there was the disparity in talent, and for the lack of experience that he has, let him grow this year. Like, why do we have to wait? That's how I feel as a Florida fan.
Mm.
Same thing to you, coach. Anybody see how after what we done seen out of week one?
Listen, man, I'm gonna give you somebody different, but really it's Billy Napier. Cal said it all, man. Napier, listen, dog. This Florida we talking about. Since Steve Spurrier was hired as coach of Florida, nobody has lasted more than 3 years. Other than Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, nobody's lasted more than 3 years. Other than Will Muschamp, he lasted 4. Billy Napier's in his third. He just lost to Miami. Shawty, you pointed that out earlier. You can't do that to your in-state rival. But since he went with Napier, man, I'm gonna say it's Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly seat is getting hot out here.
Good call. Good call.
LSU has lost their last 5 season openers. 3. This is the third one under Brian Kelly. Listen, I don't know if he lucked up or what happened in the first year, but he got to the SEC championship, got smacked by the Dogs, and then since then, only thing good at LSU been Jalen Daniels. I mean, winning the Heisman. So, I mean, maybe the Heisman bought him a couple years, but y'all already know LSU and Florida, they in that same boat. Them administrations, that fan base, they don't play that. Hey, man, you win a championship and get fired 2 years later. That's how they roll down there. So, I'm going to go with Brian Kelly.
I want to throw it, and I
Good
agree with
call.
both of them. So I was going to bring up Brian Kelly as well. I think Sooner Legend brought him up in the comments. He said Dabo as well. Let me throw another name out there, and let me see how y'all feel about this. And this coming off a win, but it just
No,
won a great win.
I don't want
Beamer.
to, before you get into it, 14-0 Boston College.
Oh, I'm literally looking at the game and not looking at the game. Yeah, you know. Hey, we might be adding another name to the.
Oh man, I was just saying, man. Hey, that's gonna be 3 losses in a row. They don't get it together.
Yeah, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off, but
Oh,
yeah,
you good?
just come
Oh, you
on,
good?
dog.
No, you good. So,
But Beamer,
yeah. What about Shane Beamer in South Carolina with 19-14 victory over
That's
Holy
good.
Bible?
That's a good one.
23, 23-19, struggle win nonetheless. I think he good this year, but I think the start of next year, the expectation is going to be written on the wall, and I think there's going to be some hard parameters set next year. It's not going to be well, it depends on what you do against this team. It depends on what you do against that team. It's going to be a hard and fast 7-8 win. You don't do that, you got to go. That's what
So,
I think
coach,
it is.
you think if he let's say he wins less than 5 games this year, he survives that?
Yeah.
They picked.
Listen,
I think they 5.5
listen, man.
right.
No, man,
Vegas got to
Listen,
make a.
no.
right, man. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Growing up here, like South Carolina is a different animal, dog. And this is the thing. While he is not a good coach, I've been saying since they hired him, they shouldn't have hired the good guy. He's not a head coach, dog. He's a special teams guy. South Carolina just looks at things differently, bro. I'm telling you, it's not. You can't explain it.
Okay,
I don't know what it
okay,
is, but they love his energy. They love his
okay.
recruit. He can recruit considering his circumstances being going against, Clemson
So
and
so
Georgia.
so Nicholas Harbin is gonna go his whole career and just be nothing. Just a six
Listen,
five guy that runs a three
you
nine
just
in the 40. He just gonna just be nothing.
hey, you just named one of the reasons that Shane Beamer got some more, I guess you would say, leeway. At least got a little bit longer. You got the Nick Harbors. He got the Dylan Stewart, who was on like the all, like I think PFF had him as a freshman. They did like a all week one team or whatever. He's a true freshman. He was a 5-star. Dylan Stewart. We tried to get him too. So like it's the recruiting. You know what I'm saying? They brought in 5 guys on the offensive line in the class of 2024. They're giving him a year to develop them, and in 2025, it's gonna be make or break in
Okay.
2025. That's what the South Carolina fan base mostly is saying. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask y'all this question right here on staying on the Beamers before we move on. If just let's say they go out Saturday and Kentucky beat them 31-6. You still think he good?
I think he good. No, I think right now I don't think he gonna only win the 3 games we talked about.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win the 3 games. Yeah.
Right, and I'm telling you, like
He coming back after three
I'm
games.
telling you, yeah.
Ah man.
Listen, I'll tell you,
All
South
right.
Carolina's a program that takes their baseball more serious than any sport. Even though the Don Staley's the GOAT right now in basketball, they take baseball more serious than anything, and they let their baseball coach be below standard for at least like 3 to 4 years, and that's normally a 1 to 2 year job down there in South Carolina. So
Has
with
he
Beamer,
done something before those 3-4 years that he was
nope.
down though?
Nope. They haven't had a good baseball coach since the guy that's the actual athletic director. And that's why, that's what I'm saying. They take that so much more serious. They take football serious, but not serious like baseball. And then on football side, Beamer came in, won 8 games, won 7 games, won 8 games, and then he had a bad year last year. So
And look, Cody, that's where I was going. We talk about trajectory all the time. He don't
right.
went from 7, 8
8
to 5. Now
And
it
who
might
that
be
sound like?
3, and it might be 3 this year. I don't
Who that
know.
sound like, Shawty? Your boy you always be on in
Pittman.
Arkansas.
Pittman.
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 Just
That sound like
we
Pittman.
we knew coming out of last year, Pittman's going into this season. He got to do something. That's how Beamer is going into 25. He not gonna
Okay.
get fired in 24,
Okay.
but going into 25, like it ain't gonna be wait
Okay.
to see what you do first game. It's going into 25.
Okay.
Get it done or get fired. That's how they look at it.
And let me clear this up with this Oklahoma fan. Chicken. I was asked this last year or the year before last. I said he would be somebody DC in 3 years. So I got the 2025. I got the 2025. So y'all can quit talking about that. And get it. It's still it's up and down right now. We
So
ain't playing. We got to play the game.
Oklahoma beat Idaho State, boy, and they happy. They own one, huh?
Not Idaho State.
They own one,
Hey man,
huh?
I just go by the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I don't want to get on Oklahoma track, but they got them. I think Vegas got them at 7.5 wins. I just
Right.
think for their trajectory to be up, I'm just going off the numbers. He needs to win 10 games. He won 9 last year. So if you don't win 10 games this year, the trajectory say you're going down. I'm just saying that's what it say. I ain't saying you're not a good team. I'm not saying that. It's going off a trajectory. Same thing we talking about Beamer. He
Right.
went 8 wins. No, he went 7 wins, 8 wins, or something like that, or
Yeah.
vice versa, 8 and 7.
Something like that.
Then he won 5 last year. If he win 3 this year, coach.
So I'm gonna tell you something else before we move on. That's got him a little leeway too, Cal. It's not just the recruiting. They don't beat Clemson
I'm
often.
sorry.
They,
See
in
what
20,
chicken saying about you, Cam.
right.
You talking about Julio got jokes. Don't worry, he ate chicken cool.
Nah,
Man.
it's all good. Go on and put it up there. It's all good, chick. It's all good.
But in 2022, the win against Tennessee and the win against Clemson, that bought him like another. See, the win against Clemson and Tennessee back to back, how in the fashion that they did it in, that's like Georgia winning the SEC championship. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. It's
Okay.
different.
I'm convinced that the bar is low. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I got
it's
you.
just a different bar. That's all.
I got you. Because if you're going from 8 wins down to 3 wins at
Right.
some point, you need to be out of there. But I got you.
Bro.
Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna move right along. And this
I mean, you ain't got to keep it up there that long, though, Shawty.
I just forgot about that.
You got ride it out.
Yeah, that was fun. I can't even lie. That was good.
Nah, that was good. I like that.
Let me ask you this. Since we cooking now, which team you think needs a win badly in order to rebound? And I hate to keep riding this train, but we might be talking about the same team because they down 14 there right now.
I was about to say I'm watching them right now. Because it's not just but they had a bad ACC loss to start. This is another ACC game. If they lose this one, they need this win. Boston College don't.
If they lose this game, coach, their chance to make the playoff goes down to 1%. Right? It went from the first coming into the year, they had a 36% chance. With the first loss, it went down to 10%. If they lose tonight, it goes to 1%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to go somewhere else, you could go to LSU because Brian Kelly kind of put all of it on his quarterback. But I think the overwhelming favorite got to be Florida State, dog. This is the ACC game. They just came off of an ACC loss, so they ain't like Brian Kelly lost. It ain't done nothing to his SEC chances. Not you know what I'm saying. Not in numerically, but similar to Clemson losing to the Dogs. They didn't do nothing to their ACC chances. This right here. The Boston College, listen.
Yeah, because that would be 2 ACC losses. Actually.
Right. So
yeah.
So this is the thing. Like you said, they got a 1% chance, and I'm pretty sure mathematically it's still possible. But, bruh, they might even make the ACC. They chances to make the ACC championship if they lose this game might be 1%. I mean, for real.
So Mike Norville looking like not Dabo. What's the other guy? Jimbo. You just sometimes you just had that great team, but you just man, because he ain't looking right. You know what I'm saying? Like this was supposed to still be a year where they had a good year. You know what I'm saying? And Florida State's supposed to be back.
All the prognosticators said that.
So Cal, would that be your answer to that question as well? Would it be Florida State needing to win the most to bounce back? Because I think LSU.
Those are good. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna throw out something a little different because I mean those are the right answers. Clearly, Florida State. You can't start 0-2, and you're 0-2 in the conference. I mean, I think that's clearly the best answer. Like you start out 0-2, everything that you started off dreaming about the season is over. It's over at this point. LSU's a good one. Just like you just said, I mean, Brian Kelly, I mean, you need a big win. You had an opportunity, and you failed, and you haven't really done anything since you've entered the SEC. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go a little different route on this one. This is a team that actually did win in week one.
Mm,
They just won the national championship. They had a coaching change. They did
mm.
not look very good in week one, and they
No, they
have an
didn't.
opportunity this weekend. They're playing Michigan's playing Texas at home. I think Michigan, I think, needs to bounce back to have that perception like, hey, we're a real player this year. I
Mm-hmm.
They
think
ain't gonna
going
be
into
able to
this
get Texas.
weekend, that's what I'm saying. I think that they want to change, I think, the perception because I'm thinking after that week one performance, I don't really think people are taking Michigan serious to be a playoff contender. And I think this is a week going against Texas, an SEC opponent, a team that was in the college playoffs last year. I think that this could really propel them if they were to go out there, have a big win. I think this could propel them to have a really good season. So I'm looking to
That's it.
see what their coach is going to do, how he's going to bounce back. Because again, it's all about perception. And perception that first week that they just didn't look very good against an inferior opponent.
That's a good
I'm
call, Corey.
yeah,
Good
good
call.
call, definitely good call. And that I hope that don't steal an answer because I'm gonna ask you a question in a little bit, Cal. I got a feeling there's gonna be an answer to that question. But I'm gonna take this question from the panel from Sooner Legend, and I'm gonna let Coach I take a stab at it first. I'm gonna throw it up here on the screen for you guys. Question for the
Mm.
panel: we know Sunbelt Billy is more than likely to get fired. Who do y'all see replacing him at Florida? I already got somebody in mind. Who you got, Coach?
I can tell you off the top of my head who I don't want to go down there.
It's
Glenn
probably.
Schumann.
Mm,
That's who I don't
mm,
want to go down there. But
Who is
uh,
who is that?
All
Glenn Schumann.
DC. All
Glenn
DC.
Schumann. You know,
Oh,
people been trying to
oh,
get
oh.
him for the last like 3 years. But I can tell you who I can actually tell you who Florida tried to probably come get because I think his trajectory is like those that came before him to have head coaches now. It's Travaris Robertson, our new coach DC. He's already on that trajectory. I think they kind of, Kirby and him, they probably already talked about this, about how he probably won't be in Athens long. Just like Fran Brown. Fran Brown always was going to be a head coach. And he's got ties to Florida as far as recruiting. He's a great DC. He's been a hot name, so I could see them coming after Travaris Robertson. He was
I just
down there. Oh, and he was down there with Will Muschamp too when Will Muschamp was
yes.
the head coach.
They don't be everywhere with Muschamp. I just hope they don't poach none of our staff. But with that being said, Cal, who you think? Any ideas who Florida may go after?
Man, that was a damn good one. I'm honest with you, I haven't really thought about it that much, to be honest with you. That was a good one. I
Why
would
not
have
Dion?
probably said,
I'm just saying, why not?
He
His
ain't showed
kids
he
to
can
be
do it.
gone.
the only reason I tell you why not,
Recruit.
because Dion's gotta prove that he's serious about getting that line of scrimmage right. Because if he doesn't do that within his program, you're not coming to Florida and winning. You're not going to a big time program and not winning if
Let,
you're not getting those trenches right.
let me ask you guys this though: would you agree it'll be easier for him to recruit at Florida than it is at Colorado, even geographically?
Yeah, I think it'd be easier, but I don't. But this
Yeah.
is the thing.
It's
I'm
cold
gonna
as
tell.
hell on the
This
court.
is what I tell you though. This is what I tell you. And Shawty, we had this conversation. Dion ain't got no problem recruiting. I think he chooses to go in the portal instead of go to. And I like you said, it is colder there. So, but it would be easier for him to recruit down there. He still ain't show he can actually coach,
True,
dog. And Florida
true.
want to
Good
coach,
point.
man.
I
Billy
got you.
Napier
That's a good point.
got all that, on the resume from the Sun Belt, but you got to be able to coach to go to Florida, man. And until he show I got to see what he do this year to see if name wise, yeah. Who else is a bigger hire than if you take the? But as far as like
You,
on the field production, I
you
got to
know who
see
I
it.
like though. You know who I like? He just got a head coaching job last year, fired from Prime State. Well, I don't know if he fired that though. But the OC that he had from Kent
Sean
State.
Lewis. Sean
Mm-hmm.
Lewis. And I'm gonna tell you something else to look at now that I'm thinking about. Jed Fish, the dude that was at Arizona last year. He took over the Washington job this year, so this is
Washington.
his first year. But when he was at Arizona, he was that dude, man. Him
That's a
and
good call.
Jeff Brom from Louisville. They love Jeff Brom, dog. Like Jeff Brom, he's a Louisville quarterback. You know, I know he at home, but Louisville ain't Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when you talk about the resources and like you say, just geographic, Kentucky ain't got the players that the state of Florida got. And if you give Jeff Brom that type, he offensive mind, got all that speed in Florida, that might not be. Now I don't know if he one of them guys that say, "Hey man, I'm at my alma mater, I'm good, I'm chilling" type dude, but I take a run at him.
Right.
Let me I'm gonna let you keep. You have some care?
No, well, I was just gonna say, man, I think when we're talking about Dion, does Dion really want to recruit hard? I think does he want to get in those trenches and really recruit those kids that it takes to be a successful program? I don't know. I think that that's really something to watch out for because to really be a successful program, man, you gotta get in those homes. You gotta consistently recruit. And that's the one thing when we talk about in Athens right now, we got the best in the business. All the time we see, what I'm saying, Kirby's working all the time. If he ain't coaching, he's developing. If he's not developing, he's recruiting. What I'm saying? Like it's always churning. And the one thing that, whether it's fair or not, Dion does have some abrasiveness that can be kind of off-putting. What I'm saying? I think that if he doesn't win this year, I think that that's going to be something that really starts to magnify and start to work against him as well.
You know what, Cal? To your point, why I asked this question, Coach, I think that's a fair question because
Right.
you have to think about Dion and just think about this right. Think about all this outside of football stuff he got going on, commercials and all this kind of stuff. Like you ain't really probably hitting the road recruiting hard because you got a whole nother schedule. That's why you hit the portal. It's so easy for you to hit the portal too. You might have a staff out there, but you yourself, unlike Kirby, is not out there hitting the road in the homes like with most of the kids that you're trying to get. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a fair question.
To Cal's point, man, Dion's made two statements about recruiting that shows he's not about that life, as we say. The first was he don't go to recruits home. He said he think they'd rather come to his house. So that's the first thing. Like, I mean, yeah, you prime and all, dog, but mom and daddy want to see that you took the time out to come to their house. He also said here recently he don't go to a lot of high schools and because he said if he goes to one high school this week, then the next high school when he ain't got time will call him like, well, you didn't come to my high school, that type of thing. Well, that's recruiting, dog. You got to go to all the high schools. Like you got to take out. Kirby takes out time in his schedule to do all like a road tour in South Georgia. He be hitting school after school after school after school. Nobody said it was easy, dog. And I get you prime and all, but hey man, we gotta step down off that throne. You ain't playing in the NFL because technically you ain't did nothing in college. I mean,
I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like the way that sounds.
Me either. And I just don't know. Yeah. I'm with you on that all day, Coach. Like I just don't know how you're gonna build a successful program by only hitting the portal and just kind of having because you're putting in built-in excuses. Well, if I do this, then this is gonna happen. Well, goddamn it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like hit them all. Like you ain't gotta spend all day. Go to each one of them for 45 minutes, an hour, and go to the next one.
Hey man.
But
that don't come across, especially if he was to come to the South, dog. You got to, man, this is the South. It's different, dog. You got to recruit different down here.
So give me the game you looking most forward to in week 2.
Just one?
You can give me a couple.
I'm gonna give y'all one, and then I don't want to take nobody.
Yeah, you might say a Cal Thomas. Then I know what game is gonna be.
I know, Coach. He got a bunch of options. You know what I'm saying? So go with something else.
All right, I'm gonna go with the option ain't nobody really thinking about. I'm going Boise State versus Oregon. Oregon barely survived Idaho, 24-14, and that wasn't a 24-0, and then Idaho scored 14. That was like 17-7. 17-14, 24-14, like in the fourth quarter. I don't know what was going on because Dylan Gabriel threw for like 40 for 47 for 300 something yards, but he only had like 1 or 2 TDs or something like that. It's like they was moving between the 80s. I mean, moving between the 20s, but couldn't get in or something. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to watch the game. Boise State, on the other hand, is one of those G5 teams looking to try to get into one of them spots. You know what I'm saying? And they put up now they had a shootout with Georgia Southern, but if we saying they ain't got no defense and Oregon can't score, it might be I don't know, it might be a recipe for a closer game than Oregon wants. So I'm interested to see this Boise State Oregon game.
Okay. That one wasn't on my radar, but and he's a little kid went off last week too. The little running back from Boy, he had like 200 with 76-yard rush.
He won. One of the best running backs in the nation, dog.
Cal, who you got? What game you looking forward to in week 2?
I got another one that's a little bit off the map. I'm going with Colorado at Nebraska. I want to see which one of these teams, man, is which one of them kind of real. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not mistaken, Colorado kind of beat up Nebraska a little bit last year. Nebraska finished the year pretty good last year with a few wins. They got a big time freshman quarterback that came in, and so I want to see how Colorado goes to Nebraska this year and how they hold up in the trenches. That's one thing that I'm really looking forward to. If they can, they obviously got some opportunities where they can slice up Nebraska in the secondary. But if they can't, I think Nebraska should have, I'm not going to say a pretty easy time, but if they can really control the trenches, I think they can give Colorado all they can handle.
Okay. That was kind of who I was looking at. I'm going to go with my plan B. I want to see Tulane versus Kansas State.
Kansas State didn't look too good Saturday either.
That's my point. I had Kansas State winning the Big 12, and I got Tulane being my 12th spot for the playoff.
Right.
Oh wow!
Okay, that's gonna be a good one. I knew.
Okay, where they playing?
It's at Kansas State.
At Kansas State. Okay.
Yeah, but K-State played at home this past weekend against a inferior opponent, and they didn't look like I thought they should look. They got a new OC, so that might be some of it. But they got extra help in the running game. They should have the best running game outside of Oklahoma State in the Big 12. So I don't know what was going on. I haven't had a chance to actually really look at the game. So that's a good call, Shawty. I got a couple more though. If y'all just trying to check out some football, NC State and Tennessee.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It's neutral. It's in Charlotte. Tennessee got the air raid, but NC State gonna try to control the clock. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a little two different styles hitting each other, and then Arkansas and Oklahoma State. You know what I'm saying? We talking about that's Big 12 versus SEC. Pittman. The trenches. Can they stop Ollie Gordon, the running back, who looked like he picking up where he left off last year, winning the Dope Walker? You know what I'm saying? And then Syracuse and Georgia Tech. Don't sleep on it. So I think Georgia Tech will be able to run on Syracuse, but can Georgia Tech secondary? They're playing a better quarterback this week. They ain't playing DJ Uiagalelei. They playing Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord is a better quarterback. Yeah. He got better weapons on the outside as of now. So I'm interested to see how if Georgia Tech is serious or if it's just like, hey, we beat Florida State and then we going because they just they took a little time to start against Georgia State Saturday.
Yeah, right. I just want to make one quick correction because I know we like to be fact based and everything. The Kansas State and Tulane game is actually in Tulane. It's in the just so the people know. Just in case you went down and put your rent money down, I just want to make sure that they know where the game is, and they'll be like, "Man, y'all told me it was gonna be in Kansas."
That changes it.
Yeah,
for sure.
So the game is in New Orleans.
For sure changes things. We got a question. Is this for the panel? I guess it's for the panel from Patrick. He want to know, who do you think would be the last 4 teams representing their conferences in the playoffs? Georgia.
I'm assuming you mean like when the ACC lose, who gonna be the last to lose? Because in the ACC.
Right.
Okay.
I had Clemson for the ACC. I'm gonna go with my original. I got Clemson for the ACC, Georgia for the SEC.
Ditto.
I had Ohio State for the Big 10 and the Big 12. I had Kansas State.
I got our only different one, and I got Oklahoma State for the Big 12.
Me too. I got Oklahoma State as well. Hmm.
So there you go, Pop.
Hey, C Rob comment say Buffs getting out coached this week. C Rob, Buffs get out coached every week.
Well, now to that point, I'm gonna be honest with you. Matt Rule is for sure the better coach, and I think he has closed the gap on Dion in 1 year. I think they beat Colorado. That my I'm jumping the gun. That my upset game of the week.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that game got a little nasty with the words last year too, didn't it?
You know what? Actually, it's not an upset. I think Nebraska favored by 7.
I wouldn't doubt it.
True.
It wouldn't be an upset.
I wouldn't doubt it. Hey, listen, North Dakota State out-coached them. You watch the games last year. They don't. Shadur and Travis Hunter is saving face for Colorado. That's what's happening every week. Out whether they win or lose, close game, whatever. It's Travis Hunter and Shadur, dog. Like that staff.
That's true.
What's going on?
You take one of them off, they win 3 games. You take both of them off, they might not win any games. That's a fact when you think about it. I mean,
so let's stay with that. Who y'all upset game of the week? I think. Well, I guess they the upset. But I like Nebraska over Colorado.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like Nebraska over Colorado, but you said Nebraska's favorite, so I guess that ain't really an upset.
Right, yeah, ain't really an upset.
Upset game of the week.
Upset game of the week.
Tulane over.
I'm gonna go with Tulane. Tulane. That would be a good upset.
Yeah. Yeah, because like everybody else that I think might win right now wouldn't be really an upset. You know what I'm saying? So
with North Carolina State, they got who they got?
Tennessee.
Now that would be an upset if North Carolina State win, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Tennessee ranked
slightly.
I think in the preseason.
Yeah, they are. I mean, but NC State is 15 versus 24.
Okay. Yeah, 15 versus 24. So numerically, it would be. Yeah.
This is the second game of the season, so we kind of, I don't know.
Like I'll say, like if you're talking about like not just numerically, but like how they look coming out of week 1. If you talk about how they look coming out of week 1, Michigan beat it. If Michigan were to beat Texas, I think that would be an upset because of how they looked. But I think again, I think both of them was top 5 or something, preseason. So I don't know.
I think Michigan right now is 9 and Texas is 5, something like that.
Yeah. So
9 and 4. Yeah.
But like what Cal had pointed out, man, they didn't look good at all against Fresno State. And I know Fresno State is one of these programs that's been around. They probably gonna be in that G5 combo.
We just gave you that answer. Michigan upsets Texas.
Right on point. Texas. Right.
Yeah. I'd be shocked. Even though it's at Michigan, I'd be shocked if Michigan won that game.
Right. I'm gonna be really shocked if Michigan wins that game.
Michigan like they might be in trouble this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we talked about the upset alert. That's what we just did. So I'm gonna kind of spin back, and that's why this question is different. It's not the same question. It's different, and we're kind of in on this. Which team so far, as a team in totality, or however you want to look at it, has been the most impressive to you so far?
I'll get it first.
Yeah, you got it, Coach.
I'm going with the Dogs. Not because they
even with that first half.
Yeah. Yes, because there's a lot of things that go into that. Clemson being, again, I'm still holding to it until I see different. Their starting 11 defense is probably the best we'll see in the regular season. They're going to stifle a lot of people. Now, their offense, not so much. But also go into that. We went into the game expecting Jonell Aguero, who actually was would have been a first-year starter. We expected him to play. He didn't play. We had to put in a true freshman who actually balled out. We started without our top 2 running backs, Etienne and Rod Robinson. Didn't have Jordan Hall, who was supposed to be our defensive tackle, starting. We lost Ra late in the summer, who was supposed to be our starting X. Man, if you add all of that stuff up, and we still went out there with a slow starting, first half offensively and still put that wood to Clemson, like you know what I'm saying, like we did. I think that was impressive because and again, it was a top 15 matchup. It was the only top 15 matchup in the country this week. So everybody else's win came over lesser opponents, I would say.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to say, Coach, I think you hit it on the head with that. I know we dogs, but I was impressed as well. I'm gonna go a different direction. I'm gonna go with Notre Dame, man. I think
I
that
don't know why.
you say you don't know why.
I want to hear this.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because they went through the adversity. Because I thought Texas A&M actually has a really good defense as well. I thought that they had some ball players on their defense, especially their defensive line. I thought that they had some guys that could make some plays. Um, I thought that they had some things that went against them. And I see Notre Dame running the table this year, getting into the playoffs. I see them being 12-0. I don't see anybody on their schedule. And I was also very impressed with their defense, especially their secondary. I think their secondary is definitely one of the best in the country. Yeah, I think that they've got first round safety and corner. And I was impressed with Notre Dame. Like I said, it didn't look pretty, but still, when you go down to your first game of the year, you're going down to, I think Texas A&M is still a very talented team. I think that their quarterback, although he is, how do I say this in a nice way? Uh, I mean, he's garbage, but I don't know how else to really to say that. But I was impressed. I thought it was a good win to go down there and beat Texas A&M in front of 104,000 people.
Let me ask you this question, Cal. Texas A&M, Vegas got them right now at 8.5 wins. Do you think they win over 8 games or under 8 games?
Over 8 or under 8, I think they win 8.
Okay.
Yeah,
So under the 8.5, but I
Vegas
think
know
they
what they're
win
doing.
8.
So
Vegas know what they're doing.
that means Texas Tech would be like 8-14.
Texas
A&M.
A&M be an
Yeah,
8 and
Texas
14.
A&M, they'll be at 8 and
Yeah,
14.
yeah, that's about what they look like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about what they look
I mean,
like. Just
that's why.
just
That was,
because their quarterback holds them back, I don't think that he's going to be 12 for 30 in a lot of games. I think Notre Dame definitely had a lot to do with that. But and he was also a kid too. He came off of an injury last year, just like the Notre Dame quarterback. He was a transfer. He came off of an injury as well.
how did he look to you?
Also going against his former coach, I think that had a lot to do with kind of how inept that he looked for about 3 quarters, and then put it together in the fourth quarter and got a gutsy win. So, like I said, man, I was impressed with Notre Dame just for the simple fact that they went through some adversity, a lot of adversity in that first game, and still found a way to get a big SEC or a game on an SEC team on the road.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I think it's a good win, like I say, SEC team on the road. So, but
Yeah.
I wasn't as impressed. I thought it was some bad football on both sides of the ball, but that's just
That was
me.
a hard game to watch.
But I would see, bro. I think Texas A&M returns some production, but they defense definitely look like they're going in the right direction, but their offense is
Right.
terribly.
And I think that's going to be, just in my opinion, I think that's going to be Notre Dame. If they don't improve, that's going to be their Achilles heel once you talk about getting to the playoffs. They can't score no points. I don't think that quarterback
For sure.
is a game win. I don't think he elevates the offense enough. To me, he's a
I
marginal.
agree.
But to Cal's
Yeah,
point,
no,
I don't know
I
if there's
actually
nobody on the
agree
schedule.
with you.
Yeah, I
I
don't know if
just
there's
don't
nobody on
think
their
that they don't
schedule.
play. They don't
But that's why
really
I said
have.
playoffs. That's why I said playoffs. I ain't
Right.
worried about the regular season. Because
Right.
Right.
I got them as the 5th seed in my playoff picture. So I got them.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So we're on
Yeah,
the same page.
they making the playoffs regardless. They make if they 10-2 or better, they making the playoffs. This is
Right.
Notre Dame we're talking about. So, but to Cal's point, yeah, the schedule definitely lines up for them to possibly
Like,
go undefeated.
like Jason said, they literally made the 5th seed for Notre Dame this year. Like it's prime made for them. the fifth seed is
For
no
sure.
advantage to have. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
For sure.
yeah. So, my best performance, man, who I was most impressed with, to be honest, just watching them play as a unit. I was very impressed with Penn State. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see some of the West Virginia and Penn State games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But man, the way the quarterback looked, the way he moved the offense, man, I just had to see the quarterback he was just so comfortable. Like he knew where everyone was going. But if I take that back, I feel that way with Shador. Every time I see Shador throw the ball, and I saw the guy from Penn State throw the ball, I just feel like it's a completion. I know he's throwing it to the right guy, and I know he open. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about the guy from Penn State this weekend. So shout out to Penn State. I don't know how long that's going to last. I do have them making playoffs as well. I think they might 11 seed, something like that.
So I was gonna say that, yeah, about Penn State. A stat I heard about them is that during the playoff era, had there been 12 teams, they would have made it like 6 times. Like, so they're always in that top 10 to 12. So that's their range, and so that's a good call with them getting in. But I'm gonna have to watch them play. I actually didn't see them play, but I saw Drew Aller play last year, and I wasn't impressed for all the hype that I heard with them last year. So I'm interested to see him play this year. You know what I'm saying? See what type of improvement that he made. So you kind of got me intrigued by that because I wasn't seeing it last year.
Yeah, once he warmed up, man, once he got going, bro, like he was throwing. Yeah, he was in control. I mean, he had control of the offense for sure.
Okay.
So we're gonna get ready to get out of here, man. I'm gonna switch gears one time. I was gonna ask you this off camera, but we got about 9 minutes left. And I know you're a basketball guy, coach, and this for you too, Cal. I want you to do a little trivia. I want you to tell me who are the 5 NBA players, only 5 NBA players to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh,
Well, of course, Jordan.
right.
Uh,
MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Wow.
I'm gonna go Bill Russell.
That was my second one.
No.
But
Okay.
no.
MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Will
I'll be
Chamberlain.
trying to look it up, coach.
I'm not. I got something else I want to talk to you about. But Will Chamberlain? No. Giannis? Giannis did one Defensive Player of the Year.
So you're saying in the same year or just in their career?
Okay. Oh God.
You said career?
Yeah, they didn't have to be the same year.
Right.
Have to be the same year. Defensive.
Bill Russell didn't win an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year?
That's crazy. Who else was good on defense? And then won MVP.
Kareem?
Let me count them out. To myself.
Lou Alcindor?
So we got Jordan. We got Giannis.
Who you just said, Cal?
Kareem?
Lou Alcindor.
Hakeem.
Olajuwon.
Oh,
Tim Duncan.
Defense.
Tim Duncan?
He played on the team with Tim Duncan, though.
David Robinson.
David Robinson
won MVP.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Wait a minute, give me the question again. I'm confused. Give me the question again.
It's only 5 NBA players who have ever won this award, both awards. MVP of the league, most valuable player, and most valuable defensive player award.
In the same year?
No, in their career.
They have it in their trophy case. Both of those trophies in their trophy case. Don't have to be same year. Shaq?
There you go. That's it. Number 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you the hardest one though. I didn't remember all of them, but the hardest one was David Robinson because I don't remember him.
I looked that up. Tim Duncan never won an MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year, and Shaq did.
It's only been 5 players.
Shaq was that dude. I didn't know David Robinson won MVP, and I didn't know Hakeem won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, that's good. Oh, when I was looking up Sean, I wanted to tell y'all. So we talk about Cade Klubnik, we talk about Drew Aller.
And Michael Jordan, the only guy that wasn't a big man to do it. Everybody else was big men. I'm sorry.
Oh, God, yeah. So class of 2022 quarterbacks. I want to give y'all some names, man. They all the way whiffed on all these guys. It's the top 10 for 2022. Cade Klubnik is number 1. Texas A&M starting quarterback Connor Wetman is number 2.
Matter of fact, that's who it was. I think so. So I had it wasn't Hakeem. It was Kevin Garnett.
Oh, okay, yeah, Kevin Garnett. Yeah. Okay, I was about to say. That's why I didn't think Hakeem had won defensive player. I think he won an MVP though.
Yeah, he won MVP.
But yeah, so that top 10
2-time, I think.
He won. Yeah, I think both of you won a championship.
Yeah.
Yep. So all these quarterbacks either haven't done nothing or just barely showed something. So Cade was number 1, Connor Wetman for Texas A&M number 2, Ty Simpson, the backup at Alabama, who been there forever, number 3. Drew Aller at Penn State was number 4. Walker Howard was LSU. I don't even know where Walker Howard is.
I don't even know where he is.
Devin Brown, 5-star that went to Ohio State, got beat out by Kyle McCord last year. Now he got beat out by Will Howard, who transferred into Kansas State. He was number 6. Gunnar Stockton was number 7. Sam Horn at Mizzou, don't even know where he at. He was number 8. Nick Evers, Oklahoma, ain't started it down. I don't even know if he's at Oklahoma anymore. And somebody named Brady Allen at Purdue. That top 10 was trash covered. Come on, dog. They whiffed on all them dudes, dog. I don't know what was going on with the evaluation, but they whiffed on all them dudes. Like Allen.
He was all out there though.
Allen looked good Saturday, but I want to see more before I say he's showing signs. So
Yeah, I got to see a lot more because I seen them play last year against Michigan, Ohio State, and somebody else in that
That's
one
still,
game that I
that's still
lead.
competition now.
Okay. I mean, you still want a 5-star quarterback. I mean, like you got to. I'm saying he didn't show me anything. That was more so my point. I'm okay with it. You know, what I'm saying you don't have to go throw for 400 yards, but you should be throwing for 250. Like you got to show me something. Like I didn't see him do anything. That's why I was shocked that you said how well he ran the offense, how good he looked. Yeah,
now
I was shocked.
Virginia defense ain't no world beaters either, so don't take that for a grain of salt. Right. I'm just talking about the way he looked against them, though. I was I was impressed, man. I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Him
I just want to see it against good competition.
Him and Shador probably my top 2 quarterbacks this weekend.
Okay.
If I had to go with 2 quarterbacks. All right, guys. Anything else y'all want to say about anything before we get out of here? We about came up on the Let's see some what a crap list. Oh, he's talking about the quarterback list. Yeah, it was
right.
bad.
Right. It was awful. Right. It was 14-6. Boston College is halftime.
Florida State will probably win that, man. I think they just the athletes better team. They'll probably come back.
They done got down into the red area twice and came away with 3 points both times.
So their confidence might be shook. That's where we underestimate. Their confidence might be shook.
That part too, and I might have to say this. And I haven't seen any of this game, but man, DJ, I'm sure he's gonna take heat for this.
Listen, and I'm gonna tell
you,
he should. Listen, I can tell you
he's
right
ruined
now,
a lot of programs
just from peeking at it, rightfully so on a lot of them throws. But I'll say this: currently, Florida State may have the best players, but Boston College got the better team.
Wow, okay.
They more physical than Florida State. They executing better than Florida State.
They probably got the better coach.
If Florida State loses this game, their spirit is broke. They done, coach.
Oh, for sure.
They done.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Their spirit is broken.
That's right, JV. Spread 21. Florida State 21-point favorites.
So they definitely ain't covering. So that means, let's say, if they lose this game, dang, they might only be a 7-8 win team.
And they still got they got to play Notre Dame. Maybe. They got to play Clemson. They got to play.
They ain't beating none of them.
Right, and I think I gotta check the schedule. They might still have.
They play NC State.
Hold on. They might have to play Miami.
Shit, I don't even know they could be
because coming into the season, you had to say, okay, we got Tech, Boston College. We starting off 2-0.
All right,
I think that's what 99.9% of us would assume.
Right. So they got to play Notre Dame at Notre Dame. They got to play Miami at Miami. They got to play Clemson Man, hey, Shawty, and I think
Yeah.
you might have talked about this team. Hey, man, they get a week off after this game, and then they got to play Memphis. Like
Yeah, I like
Memphis,
that.
Memphis scary. Memphis
bruh.
scary. Yeah.
Listen, they better get it together. And it ain't like they run over Florida. Florida ain't great, but even when they not great, they play Florida State tough.
And I'll tell you what, this how you gonna find out if they quit. Like if they lose to Memphis, that's how you know they don't quit them.
And
And these next few weeks, we're gonna find out if that team don't quit on him and he don't lost that team. Cause his ass might be up out of there if they quit him.
and they get North Carolina at home. And if Matt Brown can't do nothing, he can throw some offense out there.
I just wanted to say this too. I kept telling people there was more. I know everybody. There was all this mental letdown last year that they didn't make the playoffs. You still don't go out there and lose by 60. You don't go out there and lose a game by 60 points.
Shout out to Jason from Hall of Fame College Football. He said it was gonna be some hangover.
That hangover.
I'm telling you, man. That's listen, man. You might go out there and lose 31-10, 31-7, 63-3.
So right now,
man.
Norvell's seat is hotter than Dabo right now.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He ain't got no
Dabo still won 2 national titles.
Right. He won 2 national titles, 6 playoff appearances. Come on now. 2 number 1 picks in the NFL draft. Like, Norvell better get it together. He barely even won the ACC last year.
Let me ask you this: Who hotter, him or Napier?
Oh no,
Napier, the hottest guy in the country.
Napier seat is on Fuego.
All right, my last question, cause it ain't Vanderbilt. Who the bottom feed of the SEC right now?
Scotch B. South Carolina.
Shout out to Stat
But
what you think, Cal?
Florida headed that direction.
Now Florida looked worse, but I just think on the neutral site, Florida beat South Carolina.
That's the only reason why
I agree with that.
That's why I got Florida ahead. We talked about that last night. That's why I got Florida ahead of South Carolina, because I think right now on a neutral site they beat South Carolina. But
I think we talked about it. Bottom three teams.
South Carolina.
So Florida, then South Carolina. That's the bottom 2. I've been thinking about this since we
talked. Hold on, Florida, South Carolina, Florida.
No, it's so we got 16.
We're gonna go up in the bottom.
What we got? 16 teams. We got
16.
So South Carolina number 16.
Okay,
Florida 15.
Yes.
Last night I know I told you Vandy 14, but I might have to put Mississippi State below Vandy because what they like. I don't know, dog. They beat Eastern Kentucky or somebody. Vandy beat Virginia Tech.
Right. Just based off that, I'm with you.
I got Mississippi State at number 14. At it. Yeah. So Mississippi State, Florida, and South Carolina. That's the bottom of the SEC.
I'm with you on that. What you think, Cal? I'm with you on that.
Mississippi State, Florida, South Carolina.
Yeah.
We're just talking about teams. We ain't talking about programs. We're just talking about teams.
How they play after we don't see them from week 1.
I can't argue with that after week 1.
Yeah.
I ain't got no argument for that. As much as I want to throw Vanderbilt in there, I can't argue with that.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm good with that.
I see Vandy beating Florida and South Carolina. Like for real, right now.
Real right now.
So that quarterback they got, he's gonna cause some problems for a lot of people.
And Vandy beat Florida in 2022.
True.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I ain't South Carolina get together, man.
Hey, them trajectories. Shout out them trajectories.
How little Cole, and it go back to whatever we are talking about now. Is Vandy better than you? What's your excuse?
Come on, you can't say
that. None. If anytime Vandy is better than you as a program, your coach needs to be replaced.
And
that's the rule.
I can't even excite. Hey, you right.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
And right now, Vandy better than at least 3 teams.
At least.
And all 3 teams need a new coach. Well,
the one
Mississippi State, I think this is his first year. Yeah.
Yeah. This
Right,
first year.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, they might be able to get Arkansas a little run for their money.
They look better. Well, you know what? Arkansas, I like the point.
I like Taylor Green from Boise State last year. I've been following him. I like him better than KJ for that system and what Bobby Petrino want to do.
Okay.
So we'll see, but we'll see how that play out this weekend against Oklahoma State, though.
But guys, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I enjoyed the show, man. It was a great recap of what we thought about the best team who on the hot seat, all that good stuff. Man, I really enjoyed it. It was very informative. Hopefully, I was able to catch some of you guys up on some of the stuff that happened if you hadn't seen a lot of this stuff. And yeah, man, we up out of here, man. Just my damn opinion, man. I'm telling when you'll catch me, man. I'm in and out of the place, man. But with that being said, man, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. And your boy got one too, man. Coach, before we get out of here, you want to tell them where they can find you at?
Hey, man, Respect the Hedges tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all on the Respect the Hedges YouTube channel. Y'all get with us.
Cool cat.
That's what's up, man. Respect the Hedges, baby. Check us out, man. Tuesday, 8 o'clock. You check it out too, chicken.
And yeah, man, I want to say this too to everybody who's watching, man. We definitely be on Respect the Hedges tomorrow night. And y'all can also catch us during the season on Georgia away games. Is that cool to say, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can catch us on Georgia away games. Yeah, we locked in at Creature Comfort, man. All the boys will be live together, live on location in one spot. So if y'all dig and like us on camera away from each other, just imagine us in the same spot. We terrible, man. Catch us at Creature Comfort, man.
And I just wanted to say too, man, make sure to let's get the address, put it up there, let the fans know, man, because we can come out there, check us out live. It's a good time to come out there, catch a nice cold beer, catch the game, catch up with your fellas, man. And so let's start throwing that address out there. Let everybody know, man. Come out to Creature Comforts, man. Check your boys out.
Tune in to Respect the Hedges tomorrow. All that information gonna be on the screen for you.
There you go. Good call. That's why we call him Cool Cal, man. With that being said, man, we'll have all that information up for you guys tomorrow. Everybody in the comments, shout out to all the Oklahoma fans and everybody, man. We appreciate all the love, man. We up out here, man.
Absolutely. Peace.